Three of them, you said?
Oh, we might even do five. It's hard to tell how many we're going to do.
Okay.
All right, folks, welcome to Practical Shooting After Dark. Say hello.
Hi.
How you
Hello.
doing? All right, on deck today from Washington, Mr. Hwanchuk Kim.
Yes, how are you?
Amazing. From the middle part of the country, Omaha, Nebraska, the crossroads of the whole U.S., isn't it?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. It might be on rail lines or something.
Sure.
Fine.
Possible.
Mr. Joel Park.
Hello, everyone.
All right. You guys know the rules. Everybody comes here with a topic, something that pisses them off, something they worked on this week in shooting, which we're at the time of the year where for the two of you guys, well, and for me, if I'm being honest, what you did this week in shooting is probably not a lot. Or
Not a lot at all.
probably some other topic.
By not a lot, I mean nothing.
Have either of you fired a round in the last week?
I went with my friend Gerald on Sunday. We went to an indoor range and shot,
So
just
yes.
for fun, which was fun. Yeah, I shot for fun. He has a HK, like a SBR MP5, which was fun with the can. Shot that and a Beretta 92, and so I played John McClane, but I didn't really train at all. It was fun just to shoot for fun, but I didn't accomplish anything.
Cam, did you fire a round in the last week?
Yeah, about 500 rounds.
Training?
I hurt my
Wow.
toe. Yes, I hurt my toe pretty bad. I was cooking, drop a cutting board, and it just totally blew my toe. It just landed on the edge. But anyhow, as soon as I was able to walk, I went to the range and shot 500 rounds.
Nice.
You're always
Yes.
hurting yourself, man. Jesus.
It's a cry for
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, I always ask my wife to do it harder, right?
Yeah. I shot a
Yeah.
little bit if you guys are curious. Not that anyone cares, but I did shoot. I think I maybe shot 3,000 rounds this week.
You're doing the indoor range thing, right?
Yeah, I'm shooting indoors. I don't know. I'm just, I go a little stir crazy during December, January usually.
Yeah.
Like crazy. Like I go crazy, like physically crazy.
Well, yeah, it's weird because you're so used to training hard all year. It's like, oh, what do I do now with my time? So,
Yeah, I hope this won't offend anybody, but I've kind of come to the conclusion that like if all I had going on was a 9 to 5, like 40-hour a week deal, and I didn't have anything outside of that, and I just went home and like watched sports ball and did a barbecue on the weekend or something. If all I had was a 9 to 5, I don't know. There might be Smith and Wesson retirement plan for me or something. I
I
don't
picture
know.
you'd be like Michael Douglas and falling down.
I would
ever
be.
seen
I
that
would
movie?
lose my shit. I would
Yeah,
be,
he looks like one day you're driving home, you got your little pocket protector, and yeah,
yeah.
you just snap and just decide you've had enough.
If I sleep 5 or 6 hours in a day, that leaves like 18 hours. So if I work for 12, that leaves 6 hours of boredom. Still in like
It's a long time.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Apparently, this gets when you turn like 40, your energy level drops. Apparently, so I'm kind of maybe that'll be good for me when that happens. What do you think?
Nah,
I hope that doesn't
I think-
apply to Asian people.
No, you guys hit the wall way later in life, especially
That's
the
good.
Asian chicks. Like they hit the wall like they're like young chicks until their grandma. You know what I mean? They go into this like cocoon and they pop out and it's a grandma.
Ben, I can't picture you not going full speed ahead, so no, I don't think that'll happen for you. I don't see you slowing down.
Jeez. All right, gentlemen. Who wants to go first with their topic?
Ben, why don't you go first? You never go first.
I never do go first. You're right. So my observation for the week in shooting thousands of rounds. I'm shooting 40 caliber. I don't really know why, but I've been shooting a lot of 40. Man, 40 it's harder on guns, substantially. Like I'm relatively new to the 40 game, and I never shot a lot of rounds last year, not like a lot, but now I'm kind of shooting a lot of rounds, and holy shit, it beats the hell out of the guns. It really
Is it because
does.
of having like I don't know what pound recoil spring do you have in your Tanfo limited gun? It's because they're too light and it batters the frame.
No,
Or what's
so
the
I've talked to some other guys, and man, shooting limit like anybody shooting limited, they just have their shit break more. It's just the way it is. Open is I think open's even harder on guns.
yeah for sure.
But
Plus then you have the dot breaking too.
yeah, but man, I don't know. I don't know if I could do open at this point. Just looking at, and it's not like my guns are breaking left and right. It's just like, I mean, I broke one rear sight total. I've broken a front sight. Here's an example. I don't carry fiber with me. I might even put a gun in a bag and fly to a match and not bring extra fiber with me. You know what I mean? Shooting production. And in the off chance I need fiber, someone will likely have some there for me.
Yeah.
With my 40 caliber gun, I have fiber in my range bag because it tears it up often enough that I'm just going to carry fiber with me.
Really?
Yes. Like everything breaks a bit more, I think.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the best at installing the things. Don't get me wrong. If there's
Or why don't you just get 4 more guns?
He's got 2 more in order.
I ordered more.
Good idea.
It was a good, you read my mind, Fonsic. Like I just go on the website. I ordered a couple more of the blue ones, and then Tim, Mr. Myers, he hates the blue guns so much, so I kind of like shooting them just to annoy him, because that's how I work.
I like those guns. I think they look sharp.
They're very polarizing.
Yeah, it's something different.
They're different. I like that they're different, sort of, but
Yeah.
they're very polarizing. They look almost like a toy. Like it's very strange to have it at the range with me. You know, if somebody's not a competition shooter, they see that and they're like, "Well, what's going on there?" And then since it's like Cerakoted looking, people are, "Well, did you had them do that?" And it was like, "No. This is the only way they come. They come blue." But I ordered the black ones. The black ones look sharp too. Well, we'll see. I don't really care that much, but I ordered some more stock 2s.
Cool.
I'm excited to get those. I got some more of the plastic ones, the polymer match coming. I'm not as excited about those just because they use a different holster.
Does the limited gun take the same holster as your production gun?
As the stock 2s, yeah. So it will take the same holster. Not the stock 3s. The stock 3s
Yeah, because it's got the rail.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of prep lately. I guess this is something also to mention. I've been doing a lot of prep lately for international trips. Like I got a visa for Brazil, an e-visa for Australia. I just mailed off my passport for a Russian visa. Cam, we got to talk about our Czech gun permits.
Yes.
I don't know how you're doing that. You're going into Prague, right?
Yep.
Man, I got to get with you on that because that's coming up soon. That's June, baby.
Just avoid JFK. No JFK. No
I remember
flight.
that story. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yes.
I will confess I have flown through JFK with a gun without incident. I would not do so again after hearing about that.
Yep. Not the
Jesus.
best place.
It's like they just want to arrest people. It's very strange.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me nervous even, here's an example. The customs office nearest me is at the airport. So to register my guns with the customs office, I have to bring my guns to the customs office. And, you know, for example, I'm getting a firearms permit for South Africa because I'm going there in May. So I fill out all the paperwork to get a firearms permit, and then it says on there, we need your firearms license. You know, not my concealed carry permit, but a firearms license with, tied to the serial numbers of my guns. So I email them, this is not a thing. Like, okay, well, we want proof you own the guns. Okay. So thinking about that, I'm like, I don't really have any such document that proves that I own the guns, but I can go to the customs office and get one, which is I just register. Basically, it says that I own these things. So when I come back into the U.S., it'll prove that I'm not importing them. You know, I didn't buy them overseas and bring them here. That's all that really is. But to them, that's a gun license. It might as well be a gun license because that's how they look at it. So I had to go get one of those things at the airport. And it makes me nervous walking into the customs office with my cased guns because I've gotten some real weird reactions in there before. where they're like, "Oh, we got to go get an armed officer to talk to you or something." It's like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, real. It makes me nervous. So now JFK would be really sketching me out. Wouldn't like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, 40 tears up guns. Did I say this without nothing? I haven't even broken anything on my gun in the last week. I'm just always, kind of looking after it or like, oh, did it break? This or that. I have had the rear sight walked change 0 on me, and I have not had that happen on a 9mm gun.
Weird. Was it I've Loctited the bolts like if you loosen like the main screw that holds the sight in and it flips up, those bolts underneath it that
Yes.
attaches it to the frame, was that the problem?
No, it was the actual adjustment of the
okay.
where the sight.
Okay. Oh, okay. I followed.
And I don't Loctite the ones on the frame. They go to the frame.
Okay.
So I have entirely broken a rear sight on my training gun, and I made a decision not to Loctite those because they didn't look like they were going to walk out, and I have a feeling I'm going to break another one of those sights.
Wow.
Well, Henning, Henning Wahlgren, who
Yeah, of course. I like the guy.
Yeah, he's cool. He is cool. He makes parts now, but back in the day, he was a super squad level competitive shooter guy, and he used to be on the Tanfolio team. So he was the guy for me to talk to, and he also did my guns, of course.
Yeah.
When I said, hey, what do I need for these? And he said, you need extractors and you need rear sights. You're going to break the shit out of those. So that's what I got. I haven't broken an extractor because I've been changing them prophylactically, but I did break a rear sight because I don't change those ahead of time. That and it like started to break, like it clearly had broken, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just keep shooting it, and it actually failed catastrophically, like 1,500 rounds later.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So like it broke.
It just came
clearly
apart.
Broken. Yeah. Then it sheared off the screw or something. It was toast. It was done.
Wow.
So had I been a responsible guy, I would have done something about that sooner. But
It's a training gun. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I like to break my training guns personally. Like that's how I find out how it's going to work and what breaks and this and that. I like that stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not big on cleaning them. I just shoot them and I kind of see what happens. So that tells me I can kind of play around with a gun usually and I can know right away if it's going to work or not based on prior training and experience.
Yeah, or like how dirty it has to get before it starts like having problems.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. All right, Mr. Kim, what you been up to?
Yes, so since I hurt my foot and weather's cold, I've been loading a lot. And I had a couple questions from people about my recipe, so what load I use. So I think this is a good opportunity to share it because everybody's going to be loading in this off season.
And for you to pimp Gallant bullets.
Yes.
Hey, but you know what?
Yeah.
Can I go on a rant slightly?
No problem.
No,
Please do.
Not everybody's going to be loading this off season. But I don't understand you people. I mean, you people, I'm pointing at, whoever, where it's like you guys have to load the day before you go do something. I mean, I don't like.
And then your press breaks.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, I'm not saying, there's laziness that I genuinely understand. I don't understand not loading your ammo. So like to me, if I have brass and bullets and powder and primers, and I just sort of compulsively want to put those things together because that's a thing that needs to happen before I can do anything anyway. So I might as well just sort of do that. And I don't understand the guys that don't do that till the night before. I just don't get it.
Yeah, the last thing that should happen at the match is the gear issue.
I mean, even guys who are like they have to go load before they can go practice. It's like, what are you doing? Whatever.
Yep.
No,
Yes.
I agree.
So, I will do bullet head, powder, and primer. So
Yes.
bullet head is Gallant bullet, 125 grain. So a lot of people ask me, hey, why do you shoot 124 or 5? Because 147 is softer. Well, in terms of kaboom, it can be softer, but in terms of flip, I don't like it because how slow it's happening. I like slide cycle really fast, and also I feel like 125 is uh, financially really good area too. 115 is too much powder, 147 is too soft, so 125 is good, accurate. And the powder, I get a lot of questions about my powder. My powder is not very famous in the US. I am currently using Prima V from Vecton Powder, which is from France. There's Prima V and Prima SV. They do the same thing. Same grains of powder, same power factor for me, same accuracy and everything. I don't know why they separated it, but there's Prima V and SV. Both are the same price. It's really cheap. 13.99 for 1.1 pound. It's 1.1 pound because it's like
Yeah,
kilograms,
it's
whatever.
cheap. That's cheap.
Very cheap, yes. Before I was using Tight Group because Tight Group was one of the cheapest, but Tight Group is still more like 15, 16, something like that. So I use this. These also about the same powder for the Tight Group, so 4.0 grain, which is not a lot of powder. So you can get a lot of bullets out of 13.99. And I use CCI all the way. I sometimes use really weird European crappy primer for practice, but CCI like 100% for me. So I loaded to, people ask me power factor. Last year I shot 140 to 143 power factor because I liked how fast cycling it is. But then I just brought it down to 135 just to save a little powder. And this recipe is really cheap. If you buy in a bulk, you can shoot a lot. And also, it's one of the softest powder I've used, and accuracy is very good. Uh, that's just magic sauce. I can't find better financial decision and also performance. This is the best recipe I've had.
How
Is
tough
that
is that stuff to get though? Do you have to get it from like Powder Valley or one of the
Yeah, Powder
like
Valley
online?
has it. Grafts and Sons has it. Grafts and Sons, they have it 13.99. Powder Valley just 14.99. I don't know why.
yeah, you're very price sensitive, Kim.
Yes.
That's
Uh
gonna
huh.
be it's gonna change.
Hopefully. But performance really nice, and not a lot of people know it, so not a lot of people buy it.
Can
Prima
you
V is getting famous, but SV is not
can
famous
you
yet.
tell a difference between that and the loads that you shot with me, even in
No.
terms of feel? Okay, well that's all I
When
need to
I
know.
The thing is, when I load 140 power factor, it feels like lower side tight group or what other people use. 135 seems like pretty soft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like it. Very interesting. And I guess cheaper ammo means you can shoot more.
Yes.
People don't
And
really shoot. People don't save money. They just load more and shoot more. Is typically what their behavior
Yeah.
does.
exactly, you can shoot more. And the brass for the match, only major match, I use Precision Delta, about the same price as Starline, but I make sure I use brand new, very shiny brass for major matches. I don't use pickup ammo for nationals or even area matches, because one round hiccup can get
Yeah,
you
that'll do it.
placement low. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I ordered some brass from Precision Delta for the 40 40 cal brass. I
Mhm.
think I ordered enough that I got some sort of a discount. It didn't seem that expensive to me, but I don't pay as much attention to that stuff as you do, man. But I like
And
Precision Delta service. They seem nice.
yes,
That's what I care about.
case gauge, Honda gauge from
Yes.
Gotta
Dennis
have
Prager
that.
Pro Shop, Tim Myers.
You need it.
Yeah, you have
This
to
is
have
best.
that.
Yes.
Change your life.
Or
Yes.
buy match ammo and load training ammo and then don't care about these things.
You
That
could
is
do
another
that.
option.
But I don't get like the people that are like, oh, I use my barrel. Like I'll pull the barrel out of my gun and I'll sit in front of the TV all night loading like case gauging ammo. I'm like, I don't think that's so stupid. I don't get it. So
I
or
don't
you can just
know.
use this hundo case gauge and be done in like 10 minutes.
I
Boom.
think you find that the more volume people shoot, the more matches they shoot, the more training they do, just the more they're going to figure out what corners they can cut. For example, I can't remember the days even where I thought I had to clean my gun every time I shot it. Now it's like, who cares? You know, I don't. I mean, I'll clean. I will look after cleaning the gun before a major match, and that's about it. I mean, I've used a gun heavily for a month. I mean, daily usage, and not cleaned it. As an example, and that's
Just
something that's a behavior that comes over time.
yeah, just keep adding oil. You're
Yeah.
good to go.
Yeah, guys thinking that you have to like test every bullet in that barrel, it's like, holy shit. Oh,
No.
yeah. All right. Let's go, Mr. Joel.
All right. So I want to talk about taking extra shots. This is kind of an occurrence I've seen quite a bit this year in matches and a monthly group practice I organize. So somebody shoots like a stage or a drill. You get down and look at the targets, they have a miss. And they comment like, yeah, I wasn't really sure about that shot. And I mentioned to them, like, why don't you just send a third shot? And they look at me like they had no idea, never thought of it, never crossed their mind to shoot an extra shot. So that's one thing I kind of harp on guys now. It's like, if you think it's a miss, send another one. Don't even think about it. And it's not like you shoot, boom, boom. I transition off. I'm like, oh, I think that was maybe a miss. I bring the gun back. Boom. It's like, boom, boom, boom. You know, like if you're not sure about something, just send another one. You know, hardcover shots, those tuxedos, something doesn't look right, just send more. I especially do not like, though, if you're like in a walkthrough or you're looking at something like, oh, I don't know, this is a tough shot, I'm just going to send 3. I don't like that. I don't like that.
I don't
Yeah,
like
you
that
know where
either.
I'm going with this. Because
Yeah.
you end up shooting 3 times, hoping for 2 hits. You like aim once and shoot 3 times, it doesn't work. Like you aim each shot on those tough shots, you aim each shot, you're shooting, you know, at the A box, not at the target. And you know, if you need to make a decision to shoot an extra one, you send it. If not, whatever. You're paying attention to what the sights are showing you, and you roll off that.
I like it, Joel. A clear, concise message. Know what is happening. Extra shots, when necessary, are necessary. Just
Yeah.
don't run yourself out of ammo unnecessarily. That's stupid.
Yeah. And then I also learned that behavior in dry fire. Try to, I guess, get better at just doing that without thinking. So if I'm dry firing and I'm like some popper, I'm like, oh, that wasn't there. Just hit another one. You know?
Yeah.
Like
Knock
building
that
that
hoe
habit.
down.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a podcast question come in. This guy's referencing a prior episode where apparently I talked about the matches in the U.S. are the least efficient of any in the world. I may have said that. I don't know. Sounds like something I would say. And now I'm thinking,
Maybe it was the energy drinks talking or something, right?
yeah, but I can't. I mean, based on, well, you guys know my travel schedule. Just based on that, I would say, yeah, they're the least efficient matches. They're like our matches are not very efficiently run. Okay, so he says, what changes would you suggest for local or section matches to make them more efficient? Just not just for me. If you guys have any ideas, jump in there.
I have an idea. So
Go ahead.
I don't have as many international match experience like you, but I shot in Canada, France, Czech Republic, I think, about it. The biggest difference between US match and that was pasting. So Canada had a different system than the European matches I shot. Canada had, they separate people into 2 groups. I shot BC provincials, and the half of the shooters shoot that day, and the other half of the shooter don't shoot, but come to the range and do range officer job and pasting job, scoring job, those. So the shooter at the day of are not actually doing any work, but shooting and reloading, taking care of their own stuff. European match was they hire people, so they paid hire people, will pace and everything. So the shooter is actually just shooting and taking care of their gears. In the US, that's not the case. I have never been to a match that I don't have to paste. So that's one of the things that can increase or reduce the time per stage. So if it's like 45 minutes, It could be 30 minutes if you have a designated pacer kind of thing. So they know what to do. And sometimes if you were resetting swinger, if you are about to shoot, then you're not setting up the swinger. Sometimes people forget about it. So they don't set the swinger, then there could be a reshoot kind of situation. Those things are very inefficient. And
Yes.
yes. And of course, IPSC follows whatever the number 3-2-1 system, which is 3 small stage, 2 medium, 1 big course. But a lot of the matches I went, it's very difficult to see under 20 shots stage. Especially my area, people tend to make it a little bit bigger round count so people can come shoot more rounds. People think shooting more rounds equals more fun, which is not true.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me give you guys a few behaviors that I would say generally, like I mean, not even necessarily behaviors. I guess they are kind of behaviors, but attitudes that I see exist other places that might be different from what we see in the U.S. So, generally speaking, and this is not even really very general, every other place I've been to, and I've shot international matches from world championship level to weeknight club match level in other countries. All right, so I've been around a little bit and gotten a good sense of it. One thing I'd say that does not exist very much outside of the U.S., but exists very much inside the U.S. is there's not a firm division of labor between range officer guy and then a helper paster guy. So what I'm saying is somebody who's assigned to work as a range officer, like the person holding the timer, when they're done scoring, they're not hesitating to reset targets or stuff like that. They'll efficiently reset up the stage any way that they can. And that also goes for the RO that does the scoring. Okay? Would you guys say you see that a lot in the US?
Mm-hmm.
What's
No.
No, right. So for
No.
me,
You mean being efficient? No.
no, so if I'm the RO at my club match, I mean, there's no like the RO's like if you're holding the timer, you're like, that's my job. My job is timer guy, so I'm not like pasting targets. You know what I mean? And especially not at level 2 matches or section matches. You're holding the timer. You just don't touch the pasting. You just don't do it. You'll like stand there and point at a target before you'll paste it.
Yeah, yell out like, "Hey, we need more pasters."
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So there's like that sort of division of labor. I don't really see that most places. It's like, well, I'm just like I want the stage to run, so I'll reset it. I've shot other places. The most efficient behavior I've seen from the shooter perspective is delineating very clearly when you are resetting, when you're expected to reset, and when you're not. So the most efficient match I've shot that way, where the shooters reset stuff, was a nationals match in Norway, where it was if it was a long course, they'd say, "Hey, we want the help of the shooters," and assigned to the stage would be 2 people, like a RO and a scorekeeper, and then they'd be like, "Yeah, so the last 2 guys, we're asking your help to patch the targets." Okay, so after you shoot, you'd stand there twice and reset and patch the targets. And then you'd hand off your roll of pasters to the next guy that was just finishing shooting. And what that meant is on a 12-person squad or a 13-person squad, you ended up sitting a lot. And it wasn't like the stages ran slower. They actually ran a lot faster because when it was your time to paste, you pasted the shit out of it. You know what I mean? You're not standing there, with 10 guys out there trying to make it look good, standing next to a target and like, oh, okay, the RO comes by and you stick 2 on it, where 95% of your time is wasted and 5% of your time you're doing something productive, pasting the one target. It doesn't work that way. All of your time was used to paste the targets, except you only had to do it a little bit. You guys follow what I'm saying there?
Yes.
Very productive behaviors. Some stuff I've seen, I would say it's common at section matches, where it'll be the ROs don't make a point of instructing shooters on how to set up complicated props. Some ROs do. Sometimes you see that if there's a swinger that gets set a certain way or whatever. The ROs make a point during the briefing to explain to people how to reset it. That is definitely best practice. Well, no, best practice would be to assign an RO to that prop, and they make sure it's set up properly every time. Next best is you inform the shooters up front during the briefing how to set it up. And worst practice is something you see sometimes where there's no training on it, and then invariably it's set up wrong, it doesn't function, then there's a reshoot needed, and the RO's like, oh, you guys fucked it up the way you set it up, and you're like, oh, god damn it. Yeah, okay, but really that could have been prevented. What I see commonly at well-run international matches is the CRO, so the guy running the stage, or girl, you don't want to be sexist, could be a girl, but the CRO is typically the last person to walk off the stage. So they'll go down to the back of the bay. As everything's scored and reset, they walk back up and they'll check, they'll look, everything's reset, swingers are set up properly, all that stuff, and they walk off the stage. And again, it makes things faster, not slower. So that would be some stuff that I've noticed that definitely makes things efficient. There are other ways to make things efficient, and that's grouping moving targets on certain stages where you think it's going to back things up, or organizing the flow of the match so you have certain stages in certain bays so things take about equal number of time. That's also stuff you can do to make things more efficient. I don't necessarily love that stuff as much because it kind of interferes with stage design. An example that I've harped on before, there was no moving targets on any of the long courses at the last World Shoot. It's nonsense. It's bullshit. I understand why they did it, but I don't like it. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody have anything to add to that? No.
Well, I work I have like an IT type of QC type of job.
Oh shit!
So,
No, I forgot one thing.
what?
It is very common internationally to score targets as the competitor's still shooting. Like
Yeah.
they'll score right about like the whole stage will be done when you're done shooting. Like the scorekeeper just goes and pops it all into a tablet as you're shooting.
And then if you want to have like, go ahead,
way
sorry.
up. And if it's
Yeah, go-
questionable, they'll leave it, obviously. But if they'll just score that shit. I mean, they will literally be done scoring when you're done shooting the stage.
Or like have a buddy walk with the scorekeeper.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah, I
want.
mean, they'll tell you, they're like, hey, you can assign a delegate. And you're like, okay, well, Joe Bob will be my delegate, or whoever.
The statement I was going to make just as a general statement is like, if you look at making something better, if you look at it like with almost like a BOC mentality of, well, we've always done it that way, things will never change. So if you want things to change, you have to kind of start over, and like anything that's like in your mind, we have always just done it that way, or that's just not the way you do it. Like you have to rethink it, all those things, if you want to make something better and kind of start from the ground up. So if
We
you have a
tried.
desire to do that.
We tried one time. Well, not more than once. Like, and we were shooting a match in Florida. I don't remember if Wansek was on our squad or not, but we made it halfway through the match, having like the last three people reset, because it was a high enough level match that they had assigned scorekeepers and ROs on the stage, and the ROs just could not wrap their brains around 3/4 of the squad sitting there and chilling while three people reset. They could not wrap their brains around it.
Yeah.
To the point where we actually got yelled at, even though our squad was running fast, fast as any of the squads, super efficient. It wasn't good enough just because it didn't look good. It didn't look right. We need everybody to help, is what they said. And it's like, well, everybody's helping, but it's just not stupid.
Plus, you'd be more tired if you're out pasting targets every time. But if you have three dudes,
Dude.
it's like, hey, it's your job. Like, you need to hurry up and get these bad boys, patched up.
Dude, it's like, if it's everyone's job, it's no one's job kind of a thing. You just make it specific people's jobs at specific times, then they understand when that is, and it's way more efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's going to do it for us today. Any listeners, if you have a question you'd like the answer to, go to benstigger.com, send me your question. We'd love to take them. We love questions, don't we?
Yes.
Yes. Fun.
They're fantastic. Well, thank you guys for coming on, as always. Jeez.